So I know everyone has now found themselves in this wonderful world of distance learning. And I've seen so many schedules online, and they're amazing and creative and fabulous. I just wanted to add a sort of twist on the schedules I was seeing. One way, this is the schedule I created today, and one way that I made mine a little bit different was that it doesn't have times. The whole idea with sort of like teaching is trying to get your student engaged in the activity. And sometimes an activity is gonna last 10 minutes, and sometimes an activity is gonna last 40. The idea with the way I set this schedule up with sort of the blocks is that, let's say they write for 10 minutes, that's fine. And math, they are really interested in the activity, they can spend a longer time in math. So that's one sort of different way. The other thing that is different with our schedule that we made was that online I've been seeing so many fabulous people diving right into distance learning. But I'll be honest, usually it's only one person in the house, and I'm just gonna say it, it's usually the moms. So I really wanted to make a schedule that had some equity, that whoever is living in your house, whether it's your partner, your spouse, your mom, whoever is there to help you. And honestly, some people may be completely by themselves. But if you have somebody in the house, it's a great idea to leverage that other person. So Brian and I are both teachers. So we are both doing distance teaching, meaning we are helping our students and teaching from home while our two students are distance learning. So this sort of makes it easier for us to keep track of sort of who's in charge of different activities. For example, I'm a math specialist. So if Kira, our kindergartner, is working on math and has a green, she can come to mommy or come to me when she needs help with math. But if it's writing, for example, that day, and Sophie decides to do writing that morning, maybe we assign Brian the writing person. So they go to daddy when they have a question for that. As you can see, some things we did sort of permanently green and orange, like permanently read aloud. That's gonna be all Brian. Arts and crafts, that's my jam and wheelhouse. Creative play is an independent activity, which is why it's pink. And then outside time, dinner, usually I'm the one that makes dinner, and cleanup time, forever cleanup. So over here, we have all of our different sort of choices that they can put into these different categories, the block 2, block 3, on any sort of given day. And so they can come over here and say, okay, we're gonna do independent reading for the 3rd block that morning. That's gonna go over here. And we kind of self-populate. Obviously there's more choices and there are slots, and that's okay. You don't have to do something every single day. It's trying to sort of keep it different and keep it unique is totally fine for them. Science experiments can go in one day, and these blank pieces are for if there is something we come up with. So let's say there's something that we have not thought of yet. I have some blank ones as well. And they can come in and we can write on whatever that activity is and place it there and decide if it's an orange activity or a green activity. I thought the schedule was great for 2 reasons. One, it's flexible. It can move around, you can change its order, you can sort of give it different time slots when needed. And the other way is, like I said, the equity in the household. If all of the learning is falling on one adult's shoulders, that is a lot of work, especially for those of us who are trying to work from home as well. Basically, we are all in this together. I just thought this was a different take on the schedule that hopefully could be useful to some of you. And you can take sort of you can totally take your own sort of take on this and make it your own and unique schedule. Something you might not know, kids have really low expectations of what they need for these kinds of things. You really do not need to go all out and do all this. Honestly, this is something that makes me feel control and makes me feel grounded, so I enjoyed making all of this. But today, this was a schedule that we came up with for today. As you can see, the girls wrote it out, the girls did it themselves, and this is fine. It just gives kids a sense of routine, gives kids a sense of their school day, which they were used to when they were in the classroom. So here's our Miller family day, you know, the meals, our morning meeting, which I think is a really important part of the day, sort of set that intention and set that tone of the day. And from there, you can see, we can move it around, be flexible, and honestly, if it's a gorgeous day and it's fabulous outside, do away with the schedule. That's totally fine too. And, go outside, go ride bikes, go explore your backyard, do something like that. It's totally fine to not follow this so sort of, it does not have to be completely by the book. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you sort of gave you some good ideas of how to make it work a little bit more fluently in your household. And I'd love to hear how you all are dealing with social distancing and working from home and teaching from home and all of this amazing different things that are going on in the world. Enjoy.